can escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you here from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam show for Friday, January 10th. You see behind me the potential odds for a matchup between the two teams there. Take a look at that one, would you, after the game last night? And you can see what will the line be here. Either way, it looks like it's going to be either 9 points or 3 points, depending on who is going to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the national championship game. What a game last night. I hope you're able to join us here on the Sports Money Network for our live companion coverage with Mikey, with Razor, and with Keith as we enjoyed I enjoyed the national championship semifinal last night with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish defeating Penn State. It was still a great game no matter what. Even if those guys let me win one once in a while, we did have the premium pick winner last night in the national championship semifinal with the of course, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and we did have the winner here on the show with the over. I couldn't tell you why. Just said I'm going over, and I think that's what happened, right? If the handicap was totally under, and the game still ended up going over, and it was a thrilling game, an exciting game. We can only hope to get a good game tonight like that one, and maybe we will. Look, this one is, after all, at the Cotton Bowl. Could that a little bit sway the underdog Texas Longhorns here? The first meeting between these two teams since 2016. Texas won that one at home, 50-47. Notre Dame. That was if Texas goes on to take on Notre Dame, and if it's Ohio State, well, Ohio State's lost. Notre Dame's lost 6 straight games to Ohio State, but they haven't beaten them in 90 years or something like that. So we'll see who goes on. I messed up the monologue there, but we'll see who goes on to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish after the thrilling game last night. Hello to everyone in the chat, and thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam show as we get ready for tonight's action, the big game, and there's some other action we're going to talk about. Actually, we'll have a little bit of a short show here, it feels like, today with our abbreviated basketball card. We'll talk college basketball, NBA, NHL, but we're going to start off, of course, with last night's win by Notre Dame, 27-24, as the Irish roared back from behind over the Lions, survived their own mistakes, and won their 13th game in a row with Mitch Jeter, the kicker, hammering home that 41-yard field goal with 12 seconds left to cap the comeback and make me look good yesterday as the Irish picked off Drew Aller on that crucial play. Poor young man. There were mistakes by Riley Leonard. There were mistakes by Drew Aller, and Aller's came up to be the big one there. They both threw. It felt like crucial picks, really, but it was Leonard who was able to survive the battle of the mistakes, and Penn State drove for their own surge there at the end, but they jumped to a 10-0 lead with that power running game. Their 2 backs just going back and forth, doing a great job. They also had 3 sacks. We heard today that Carter, who had a great game last night, despite that injury, having to leave the game at a crucial time, declaring for the NFL draft. And why not? I mean, you're going to be a top 5 draft pick, a great defensive player for Penn State. But, Leonard had 2 interceptions himself. Notre Dame ended up rallying, though, with 17 points in a row, as Razor pointed out there last night, and the Irish survived. Nick Singleton, 3 touchdowns. Man, did anybody cash on Singleton with 3 touchdowns? I could only split my props on the show last night, but I did cash within the first 5 minutes of the game with Evans of Notre Dame with his reception yards, and I also had Jeremiah Love over in his rushing yards. I took Love to score multiple touchdowns, and he did not do it. I took Drew Aller to go over his passing yards, despite my pick on Notre Dame and the over. I figured from ahead or behind, but Aller doesn't look like the type. Size-wise, maybe you could fix this guy. Maybe he could be a professional quarterback, but obviously they'll just talk about decision making. Usually you can make up for that, especially if you got a guy the size of Aller, and he had all those yards. So we'll see moving forward. But Riley Leonard, he might not be the professional quarterback that you're looking for, but threw 65-yard touchdown pass, obviously, there to Greathouse there in the fourth quarter. And man, I tell you what, I was surprised myself. I was noticing on the few plays just a split second before that, if you were watching the coverage last night, I go, man, these Penn State's players are slipping all over the place all of a sudden. And right as I said that crazy play by Greathouse on that reception with 2 Penn State players just, maybe one guy got his ankles broken a little bit, but, they definitely lost their footing on the turf. And Leonard finished with 224 yards in the win. Penn State did rush for 204 yards in the loss. We talked about their rushing there. 5 of the last 7 games, they had over 165 yards, and that looked like it would be able to carry the day. And also give credit to the Notre Dame backup quarterback, Angeli there. He would have been the quarterback this year had they not gotten Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. So they had a capable backup in there, and maybe it woke up Riley Leonard a little bit there to see his counterpart kind of light things up there as he went out of the game with that. Had to get his head checked on that concussion, and Angeli came in there and kind of rallied the Irish late in the second quarter, and by the time they had tied the game, Leonard comes back in there to help them get the win. So hopefully you had it with me, but I don't think you were wrong. Like I said, the under handicap was just fine, and I read it the same way you did, but I just thought it would be the type of game that it was. And wow, what a game last night. Hopefully we'll get one tonight. Ohio State and Texas. We got Will Howard and company, Jeremiah Smith, the young man, could you believe this kid? I mean, he's, probably one of the youngest guys in all of college football. Of course, Emeka Egbua as well. The running backs over nearly 2,000 yards this season so far, and Ohio State's put up nearly 1,000 yards in the first 2 games of the playoffs, scoring 83 points. But they'll be up against Quinn Ewers. They could be critical of Quinn Ewers, but I mean, he still had 3,700 yards and 33 touchdowns this season. And Texas has that defense, man. 50 sacks, 32 takeaways. So we'll preview the game, get your opinions tonight on that one. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Stars. As we talk sports and sports betting here, I promise I can keep it under 2 hours here today with our schedule. So hang with me here. Who's with me today? As I was able to find a little bit of a profit last night with my premium picks, thanks to this football game with my pick there, and another profitable day. We got the money there just barely in college basketball to kind of survive a rough day, a bumpy day in the NBA, but I was able to come up with a little profit in the NHL as well. So hello to Cash Kane here. Good morning to the Steamers. Good morning to my man here, Joe. Today, he's showing his results yesterday. I teased Mike. They all told me to get a refund on my Notre Dame ticket, but, I was committed to it. And again, pretty volatile game there. It could have went either way. Let's face it. Great job by Penn State as well. And we'll see. Texas looks like the team. Like I said, you saw the potential lines there over my shoulder a moment ago. Maybe we'll point those out again if you didn't understand what I was saying there. The potential lines for a championship matchup. Ohio State, would be, it depends who wins, of course, but Notre Dame would be a 3-point. We'll see it when it comes up, right? 3 points, 9 points, depends who wins tonight in that matchup with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, of course, and see who goes on. Okay, other news here. Let me say hello to a few more folks, but we know we got some big news here. Here's Joe W. Nice to see you. Sir Mackey, hello and thank you there. And Jermaine, thank you. Nunya, wow, look at this. Man, there's snowing in Alabama. Crazy out here. And let's see who else. We've got James Parham there as well. And Nick Handy here today. I don't know how many Sir Mackeys there are there in the chat. I didn't know there were multiple of them, but I sure would like some brisket. And Larry here, he doesn't know what's going on. Here comes another, I'm never on time, Larry. I don't know which troll this is, but nice to see you, Larry. Hey, I'll, come on, let's, don't get me on tilt here, Larry, but I'll let you slide in there. Let's see how long Larry can last here before he gets banned. Hey, Ron Young, hello to Jermaine today. Thank you for coming in. And let's see here. Nunya here today. Thank you. F. Donahue, nice to see you. Again, Larry is on the horns. Hook 'em. How about hook 'em? Let's hook 'em tonight, he says. All right, Thomas. Hey, there he is. Like this channel, subscribe to Sports Money here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports channel on YouTube for sports betting. We had a great time last night, and we got coverage this weekend, companion coverage of the UFC opener here. We already posted our preview videos for this week, including my show with BB MMA Picks. We had Wiz on there previewing a few fights, and also First Strike with their best bets this week. For me, it just comes down to the great coverage that we're expecting here this weekend with the UFC. I believe the start time is at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific with our companion coverage here this week. So please join us there for that. All right, let's see who else we got. Couldn't make it, man. Larry only made it like 30 seconds there. Hey, good morning to Robert as well. William Dryman is here. Hey, and here's Fernando. Thank you for joining us today, Fernando. Touch on our soccer coverage here just real quick for today. See who joins us, who's got some picks for the Friday feature fixtures with Como and Lazio in Italy. We've got Celta de Vigo and Vallecano in Spain. Also, more FA Cup action today, including the feature with West Ham at Aston Villa. We're here in the third round. And also 2 matches from France, a good one in Germany with Leverkusen and Dortmund. And how about tonight? It's the opener of the Mexican League here for the half season, and my Tijuana team will be in action tonight, but Mexican football gets back underway tonight with the season openers, a 3-game card, including America and Querétaro, or as legendary Pete Loshak says, Querétaro. All right, Bobby Mack is here today, took that first half under here, and Oldies blasting out to everybody at his work here. I don't know if anybody else can hear me, but I want to shout out everyone at Oldies work if they're listening today. All right. Fernando's ready. He says it's over. It was over. It was up quick and it was over quick. Curtis is here today. Hello to Blue and Dick. Oh my goodness, it's Dixon. Thank you, Dixon. It's so nice to see you over here, my man. Appreciate you. He's a domer. Check it out. There he is. He had some fun yesterday, looks like. I'm going to go hang out with Dixon. There's Jermaine as well. Cash Gain with some other comments in there. And how about the comments here from Bobby Mack? And Fernando is ready to go. Man, what can we do, Fernando? I want to enhance my Liga MX coverage this season. Look, I mean, that's, everyone says, Ramon, how many leagues do you really follow? Really, I only handicap the big five, the big five domestics in Europe, and maybe some of those others, but I follow MLS and Liga MX because I'm in North America. Okay. All right. Anyway, here we do have a little bit of news. I mean, it's obviously from last night, and everybody was talking about it here. But the site change for the game between the Rams and the Vikings because of the awful tragedy there in Southern California this weekend, and it just seemed like when they issued the guidance, people had called me out on social media as I read the tea leaves a little bit and said, I've seen this movie before. This game is going to get moved. And, I put it out there on social media that I expected the game to be moved. That was just a projection on my part. And they called me out, said, who's your source? And I said, I'm the source. This is going to happen, But like I said yesterday morning, I thought maybe, just maybe, they could keep the game in LA. So I did draw back a little bit on those comments, but obviously after another, the fire in the Hollywood Hills and obviously the tragedy of what happened in Pacific Palisades, a beautiful community, several blocks just wiped out, as we see in those awful pictures. It's not so much the threat of any fires anymore or even the smoke. It's just, it takes a lot of resources to put a football game with 70,000 people. You got to have, dozens of police, other types of personnel that take care of the situation around there, and everything is stretched so thin that probably the best to move the game here. Maybe the Rams stay focused here. They got going right away after practice to get moving down there, and we saw a 0.5 point move to the Minnesota Vikings. What I mentioned was actually that with the move to Glendale, the Rams obviously lose a bit of their home field. They lose their home field advantage for the most part. Actually, Minnesota is kind of a haven for, residents, transplants, vacationers here so there will be a strong there. Los Angeles is already a place where visiting teams enjoy not just the Chargers, but the Rams a little bit as well. There's a little bit more old school Rams fans that kind of keep it favored, towards the home team. But any team that has a good national following always has a good following in Los Angeles. And not only that, with the move to Arizona, they'll have even a bigger presence. The Vikings fans will. It may not be totally neutral, but it does feel like there will be less of a home field advantage. No home field advantage, maybe, although could be mentioned that the Rams have won 9 of their last 10 games in State Farm Stadium there, but they were playing the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll see. Going to be a great one there with that game still, but there was a 0.5 point move on that number here now to 2.5 at some spots. I see a little bit of movement here, maybe back to 2 a little bit. I'm seeing 2.5 at some of the sharpest books right now. Mostly 2.5, so even juiced a little bit here with the Vikings. All right, let's see what else we can talk about here as we get rolling with the monologue, and I'll pull off my commercial as well. Like I said, we did have some winners yesterday here, except in Chinese basketball, where I got swept last night. That was not great, but let's look at some of the major sports there from yesterday. Maybe the college basketball schedule, because I continue to have a pretty good run here. 3 games over 500 last night to pull off of a profit in the colleges. And if you missed it last night, late action with Santa Clara over Oregon State in overtime, 82-81. I didn't have the winner in that one, but just want to mention a thrilling game. The Broncos put in a rebound with 2 seconds left for the win. Santa Clara struggled from the line, 13-27. That almost cost them the game. They didn't come close to covering in a high-scoring game, but Oregon over Ohio State, 73-70. Another one we didn't hit here on the show necessarily yesterday with an over, but Oregon got it. The Buckeyes led by 8 late in the game. Well, about 6 minutes left in the game or so when I was trying to keep an eye on it there, and Oregon gets the win. They're 14-2, playing a pretty tough schedule. It was Pacific beating Washington State in overtime as Pacific won for the first time in 10 games as 17-point dogs in that game last night. Lamar Washington, 40 points. I don't know, you won't be seeing Pacific maybe in the postseason, but Washington, 40 of the Tigers, 95 points. Another good one was Greensboro over Chattanooga. We did have that one as the early play, 78-75. We got the winner here on the show. The Mocs tied the game on a 3 with 3 seconds left, and then Greensboro's Ronnie Polite drained that 3-pointer for the walk-off win. If anybody saw that, it was kind of a standalone game, so I definitely kept an eye on that. And you got the Spartans 3-0 in the SoCon, and they made nearly 50% three-pointers, so pretty good job there in that one by Greensboro. Another exciting one was Texas State over Troy. Texas State hit the foul shot with a second left to win it. Trojans led by 11, and they led by 9 at halftime, but Texas State came back to win it. But we did have some other winners, including premium picks here with me, with Campbell plus the points against Hampton. We had that premium pick winner. How about Elon and William and Mary? We had the under there in that one on the show yesterday. I did have the over in that Texas State Troy game as a premium pick winner yesterday. Also, I had the Northeastern Huskies over Towson as a premium pick winner. Hope you were able to join me there on the show last night as I gave out Delaware and NC State over in the pre-gaming chat yesterday. And that one went well over. Wright State over Oakland was a premium pick winner for me yesterday as well. We did have other winners here on the show. Remember, the other early game was Morehead State and Arkansas Little Rock. We had the total there. Under as our winner here on the show. That was a pretty solid under for sure. And we also had Arky State and South Alabama game to go over on the show yesterday. Washington and Michigan State, man. Michigan State blasted them and got our under there on the show yesterday. We also gave out the over in North Dakota State and Oral Roberts on the show yesterday. Off the cuff there. Remember that when that one came rolling in? We mentioned that one. Also, premium pick winner Tennessee Martin over Western Illinois. We had Southeast Missouri over Southern Indiana as a premium pick winner, and also Utah Tech over Texas Arlington was our premium pick winner yesterday. And then we kind of finished strong yesterday. Bakersfield and Santa Barbara on the over here on the show gave us a winner last night. We won with Idaho and Sacramento State game to go over. Also, Irvine and Northridge, a winner here on the show yesterday going under. And that late game with UCSD, they got the crushing win over Cal Poly yesterday. Remember, we were kind of teasing with Dagestan Poppy about the RAS service giving a bad name to my initials by keep piling on Cal Poly. UC San Diego did end up rocking them last night. In the NBA, I had a rough one, but I did have the Raptors and the Cavaliers game to go over as my premium pick winner. We did have some show winners. Minnesota and Orlando under. How about that game with a total of 200? That should have been a dead giveaway, right? That's why we went under, wasn't it? Two teams that go under with a total of 200, and they finished well short of 200 there yesterday. We also had the Warriors and the Pistons game to go under, and so did Mikey Money on pre-gaming. That made me feel confident when he came in there with that one. Also, we had the Portland Trailblazers on the show yesterday as well. Miami and Utah game to go under was a winner. You guys had the Utah Jazz consensus winner. We didn't hit our parlay yesterday because we had the Magic, remember, and I had them too. But you guys did have the Utah Jazz despite those injuries, and we got a little bit of a late notice there with one of them, but they still got the money by half a point. Everyone pretty much got that. There were probably going to be no losers with the Utah Jazz despite the close spread as they got the money last night. And, of course, the Lakers game was postponed. In the NHL, did have a winner here on the show, Kraken and Blue Jackets game to go over. Didn't finish 4-3, but there were still a bunch of goals in that one. Mikey Money, shout out. He did have the winner yesterday with the Buffalo Sabres. I gave out the under here on the show with Buffalo and Ottawa last night. I did have the New York Rangers. They got that late win, 3-2, in I think it was overtime there yesterday against the Devils. We had the pick here also on the show on the under. So did Mikey Money on pre-gaming. Dallas and Philadelphia, premium pick winner on the under. We had the Stars here on the show yesterday as well. A lot of wins in hockey for sure. Yesterday, Boston and Tampa Bay. We had the show winner on the under. Shout out Gonzo. He did have Tampa Bay with his pick in the community tab yesterday, giving you that winner. I had the Carolina Hurricanes over the Toronto Maple Leafs as my premium pick winner. Also, late premium pick winner, Islanders and Golden Knights with the under. How about that game last night? Ended up 4-0 Islanders in a bit of a surprise there. So, all right, let's do a little commercial for those picks, and hopefully you'll join me for another day of winning over at winnable.com. And then we'll get started with the show. You can get my best picks today for the action at winnable.com. I'm coming off the big win in the college football playoff championship game, but you can also get my plays today in the NBA, NHL, college basketball abbreviated card, and my winner in the national semifinal between Ohio State and Texas when you subscribe to my picks over at winnable.com. Usually just $4 a day. I might even lower it to $3 today with a light card, but $8 a week, $20 a month, and even cheaper when you use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those premium pick packages. I'm on a little bit of a roll here again this week, so we're going to head into the weekend. Tomorrow's Saturday, so if you like betting college basketball, please sign up for tomorrow for sure with the Saturday college basketball card. Yeah, we've got the MMA as well. I'll have my MMA package. It's going to be a big day of action tomorrow in sports. So why not join me for the entire weekend? Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off the premium pick packages. Click that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my sales page over there at winnable.com. And it's powered by Stripe, so it's got a totally legitimate payment processing program. You're not going to get spammed or anything. You're just going to get a stream of plays to your phone. You can set your notifications to get my best plays every day. I'm going to give you a bunch of free winners now here in just a moment, but my best plays are right there every day at winnable.com. All right, appreciate that, and we're going to get started with the show. Say hello to a few more folks in the chat and get running. If you comment in the chat, we got 69 of you in here right now. If you comment in the chat, you're going to be eligible for the community parlay, and hopefully somebody wins it here today. I want to say hello to Tex. I want to say hello to AYOD here as well as we try to. We're already behind here again, and your markets are tumbling here early on right now. So I guess I'm gonna have to win again in sports betting here if this goes today after the markets were closed yesterday for the funeral there of former President Carter. We mentioned it on the show, and then I'm sure everybody saw it on social media. It looks like Donald Trump and Barack Obama buried the hatchet there, whatever was going on with those guys. A little bit of breaking news, though, actually, financial news related just within the last 30 minutes. We did see big news in the world of sports television. This is a field that I like to talk about and cover, but there had been talks between the three of the major players in sports broadcasting: Disney, which is of course ESPN, ABC, Fox, which obviously has a huge inventory of sports, and Warner Brothers Discovery, which has NBA properties with the TNT and some others. They're probably part of that package of when you see the tournament games on True TV and things like that. They were going to team up to form a new kind of sports-based network or streaming service called Venue. They've called that off and said, we're just going to go back to what we're doing with our individual platforms. That sent Fubo's stock rising today 5% on that, even though it's a little bit, Fubo's obviously different than those, but it allows for those companies, Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers, to continue on whatever they're doing there. But it was an interesting concept, but obviously something fell through there between that. Probably just being greedy. I don't know if we'd even want that. Probably just lead to higher prices anyways. We know everything's going through the roof here with our sports programming. Why not? I mean, you look at the top programs, from the year, I mean, practically 75% of them are sports broadcasts now. So you're in the right place. We're in the right place, watching the right things. We don't need any talking heads. We don't need any I know we like movies and everything. That's what we got. Now I need Netflix here to watch sports half the time. Let me go through the steam here real quick. We've heard it about 5 times here as the show gets going. Hello, Shay. Shout out to my friends at Don Best watching here today. How about the Washington Capitals taking some steam here right now for our action here on Friday? It is the Capitals. They were a $2 favorite here, probably going to be, they were probably 210 or so, but we're seeing them go up right now to over 225 here in their matchup against the Canadians. One of the most profitable teams going, it feels like right now. Montreal playing pretty okay for sure. I know with my Canadians, a pretty surprising little run here. So the Capitals, though, taking some steam here this morning. Also, moments ago, Carolina was $1.50, but they're taking steam here as well. We're seeing a move on the Carolina Hurricanes. They just took steam. They're going to be up to $1.65 or so at some of these books, up 15 cents right now. In their matchup against Vancouver, pretty decent road team, or they were anyway. They're starting to give some back for sure. Other steam that came in here was on UCLA in their matchup with Maryland. They were a 5-point dog, but they're going to move to 4 here right now. We saw Mick Cronin with the press conference of the year so far in college basketball. Can that motivate UCLA to play better tonight against Maryland? You'd think it might. I mean, Cronin's a pretty, he plays a little mind games here now and then. I don't know. I'd probably be like, hey, coach, you're on your own, calling me out like that. But nonetheless, here's the move on UCLA. Also, Minnesota. These are the big games today, too. Just a few minutes ago, took the steam against Wisconsin. They were 14 down to 13 probably here, maybe even 12. Move on Minnesota here on the road. And also Mount St. Mary's and Manhattan, just as we were getting started. That one took some steam here to the over. We definitely have seen some overs with these two teams this season. Mount St. Mary's and Manhattan steam to the over. It was 151. We're up to 152.5 here or so right now. Handicappers are already giving that one out from what I've seen across the paid sites today. And that was it as far as our early steam. So I'll say hello here to a few more folks, and then I think we'll be ready to go. Want to thank you, Sir Mackey, here for his gift of a subscription here to the Sports Money Network. Thank you for all the subscribers as well here. Let me see if we got some more comments here today as I see everybody rolling in here. Chosen One is here today. Thank you. Elliot, thank you very much today. Right? Elliot says right there. So when you heard that first news of the possibility that they were going to move the game to the State Farm Arena Stadium, you had to think, you set it off in motion. You got to get everything finalized down there, make sure they're ready to go, and then you can go ahead and say, hey, we're going to move the game there right now. So, all right. And Joe says those snowbirds down there in Arizona, that's where they go. And I don't know if they can they sell that thing out. I'd go to a playoff game if they came to my town here. So Terrell is here this morning as well. Thank you for all your comments, getting me rolling here. See who else is in the chat here today. Thank you, Nunya. We're thinking about those folks certainly. And look, there was a little bit of loss of life, and it's terrible, certainly, but even so, right, when you have so many families displaced immediately, look at those rows of homes, 10,000 buildings destroyed, had to be half of them homes, at least it looked like there. That's a lot of folks. And just really rough to watch, but I'm tuning out of that today. I'm not going to watch, like I said, the threat is over for the time being. Flea is here today as well. Our tops, thank you, and hello. Good morning to Alvin. It's the real Alvin today. Bo Jackson is here today. He likes the Madge tonight. D Money, thank you for being here. As a member of the Chat All Stars, of course, Doge is here. He said, he told all of you, what were you thinking? Doge said, and me and Doge, we were together on that one with Notre Dame over. Sir Mackey, thank you so much. And oh man, is that really so? Did you change your avatar there, Sir Mackey? I love that. Thank you. Is that you? All right, and Johnny Walker got me in the CBA last night. I went with a short card, and I should have went with a bigger card when I looked at the results there. All right, I think we get ready to start the show here. No reason to wait here and listen to me. I mean, I've already been here 30 minutes, keeping my man there, Larry. Hello, Larry. I talk to people all day for a living, but all these easy answers I am given. Am I really living my life this way? Vegas is a long way from LA. Ohio State will take on Texas tonight at the Cotton Bowl. Hey, Texas knows its way around the Texas State Fair here, but the Buckeyes come into this one to take on. They've got all the momentum, right, coming into this game tonight against Texas. I guess if you look at the overall body of work this season, you can make a pretty strong case for the Texas Longhorns getting the points here tonight. But if you're looking on the short term and the momentum coming in, how is Texas even going to stay in this game with Ohio State? Can you just throw out the Michigan game because it was the Michigan game? You know that usually if you were lose, especially of the history of Ohio State dominating Michigan for all those years and then losing 3 straight, now 4 straight to Michigan, you'd be out of a job. But you got Ryan Day grabbing the Just for Men color gel, looking pretty spry there. And he's turned the situation around totally and making Ohio State look like the favorite. You see the lines there. If the Buckeyes win, they will be a 9-point favorite approximately against Notre Dame. If Texas wins, they will be a 3-point favorite in the national championship game against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But we'll see tonight. Let's see what you guys want to do in this one. I'll just certainly cover a few trends or notes here and give you maybe my best players for the game tonight. Like I said, we definitely hit it last night on Evans. Hopefully you guys remember yesterday I did think that Aller would have a good game, but the only other player I really liked in the game was Evans, and he had his receiving prop there in the first 5 minutes of the game for yardage. With that big 30-yarder, that was we only needed one play, and he already had caught a ball before that. The other, thing to note about Evans there was his receptions really got steamed there. Mostly was 2.5. It was juiced to the over, but man, by the time I saw the game go off, 2.5 was minus $2. So Evans got them off to the hot start. We'll talk about my favorite players, though, maybe in this one as well, and get the national semifinals underway tonight. Give me your picks for this one. Look, the total's 53 there right now, and maybe Ohio State's going to do it, but the one thing Texas is going to be able to do is maybe show their imposition and will defensively here, possibly. I know Ohio State's been explosive. Let me know what you think with some of the numbers here in this one as we go over it. Texas, of course, comes in 13-2. They scored 38 and 39 points in those 2 playoff wins, and no doubt about it. If you think about, what's been going on with their season, maybe a little bit overlooked to a certain extent because of their losses, of course, to Georgia this season. There are only 2 losses to Georgia this season where they couldn't run the ball. but can they run the ball here against Ohio State? They only had 30 yards in both those games, really, against Georgia on the ground. So, when you got Quinn Ewers, 3,200 yards passing this season, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and we know that can be his bugaboo, but the last 3 games they've averaged over 320 yards passing. Sarkisian, he's 2-3 against the spread as an underdog with the Horns, and this is the first time that Texas will be an underdog this season. Texas has gone under in 7 of the 11 games with one maybe a push in there. For Ohio State, they've won 7 of their last 8 games, of course. That lost to Michigan. They also, of course, lost famously to Oregon, not last night in that basketball game, but as well with the game in the season opener, of course, 32-31. So, you got a guy like Howard in here, veteran quarterback, pretty much at the peak of his career right now, on fire. Buckeyes were just 8-6 against the spread as a favorite this season, and the Buckeyes are 7-9-1 against the spread in their last 17 non-conference games. The Cotton Bowl is a game that's always been dominated by a favorite. I'm willing to throw that out a little bit just because of the fact that usually, the Cotton Bowl, you have the 2 appointed teams. And, well, here again, just like last night, 2 teams are going to win 2 major bowl games for the first time, I believe. And maybe there was something back there where somebody won 2 bowl games, maybe back when they were playing the Chicago All-Stars or something like that. But the favorites are 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 Cotton Bowl games. Ohio State did lose this bowl last year, 14-3, but we know that certainly different scenarios here, and I would think that playing at the Cotton Bowl is certain to lend. Yes, the Bucks travel wherever they go, but I'm going to give. I have at Texas there. I'll change it to versus Texas. It might be a typo, but there has to be a little bit of a home feel for the Longhorns, a little bit of comfortability that may be able to close the gap on this number a little bit. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have at the Cotton Bowl. And I was disappointed last night with the Orange Bowl halftime show. I tried to talk it up. A great song by the country star there, or the rock country star, I think Keith called it. Okay, here we go. Cash Kane is going to start off, and he's got the Bucks minus 6 points. Want to say hello and good morning to Damon Warren. Chosen One says, look, the Longhorns should be able to stay within this number here, it feels like, right now. And let's see here. Ohio State wins, but he said they will win but not cover. And Thomas says if they win, they will cover. Fernando says, I'm tired of all the hype surrounding Ohio State here. I might take Texas. This is a big game. Come on, 6 points is a spread on the national semifinal game. Cash Kane says, let's see, might lean Ohio State, but maybe the price is a little high. Damon, thank you for your plays today here. We'll run that real quick here. And I think Thomas is saying Texas was better in the beginning of the year. Here's Terrell says, take their team total over. If Texas will get there no matter what, either way, it might be kind of a high-scoring game here tonight. And you're right. Has the Cotton Bowl kind of been shunned there a little bit? Look, we think of the Cotton Bowl as one of the old Big Four games, right? The Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, and Cotton Bowl. Those were always the Big Four. You got, the Peach Bowl obviously got one of those games. That's always kind of been the, fifth big bowl game there a little bit. And Damon, thank you for this. Oh, Robert, maybe going under in the first half. Here comes Joe T. He likes, of course, Ohio State and the over, and he's willing to parlay it up and put the money line in there just in case. That way he can kind of get there with a profit, should it just be a victory. Thank you here for Philly Eagle Flyers. Got his soccer action here for today. I don't see any Mexican League in there for Philly. Just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you for the picks in the chat there. A little soccer I'm going to squeeze in here. So I have to go back to it. But good Friday card. With today's short card, I might be able to get to some soccer today. T Moss here, or maybe they're overconfident here. I think he's suggesting today, possibly. Philly Eagle Flyer with his play there with Texas. And that might be it from you guys. Okay, I think it's on me to make my call here. My premium play tonight is going to be on the total in this game. So we'll see what happens tonight, but I've got to take the Texas Longhorns plus 6 points. I do think that the venue could be enough to sway this game. They're going to have to keep it low, if you know what I mean. I think if they're going to have a shot, with all due respect to what was being said about Texas team total over, yeah, that would be doomsday maybe for me here. But I do think that this is a little bit of a home advantage here. I think Quinn Ewers is pretty decent here, even though if Texas needs to rely upon that defense a little bit. Damon's here. He's got Ohio State and the under. And good morning to Kelly here today. Nice to see you. All right. And I guess that's it. I'll give you another second or two. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Enjoy that game here tonight with Ohio State and Texas. It's the game in town, right? There are a few other games. We're going to talk about them right now as our features, but it's the game of the night. And what a weekend it's going to be, man. You figure you got last night's game. I said to the guys, I said, look, you keep doing this, right? What could we compare, like a March Madness feel with football? Well, how about with now moving forward, we'll have these semifinal games and wild card weekend. This is a big, great football weekend. And we're running out of football games, you guys. Next thing you know, it'll be March Madness. All right. Well, as we continue to lose all our money in the market, let's go try to find some winners. You know what I'm going to need? I'll just mention it here real quick before we get into the NBA. We got a short card, so can have a little fun here. But, hey, I want to add one play, actually, here with my golf picks tonight, if you'll bear with me here a little bit. I'm off to a great start at this week's tournament at Wailea in Hawaii. If anybody is a free, kind of promote the picks here a little bit. I'd like to see some more free subscribers. And hey, you could have been on my golf picks here. I don't know. It's only been one round, so let me be one of those guys to say, look at me. As I see the Warner Brothers stock here down 5% now too. I guess they're all down really, but so in golf this week, I did send out a 6-pack yesterday before the tournament started, but my favorite guy actually, 80-1 shot, Thor Bjornsson, canceled out. He withdrew from the tournament before it started, left me with 5 golfers, including right now 2 golfers tied for the lead. Now the scores are going pretty low again here this week, and there's a lot of golfers at 6 under leading this tournament. But there are 6 golfers at 6 under, and we've got 2 of them at 55-1 and 60-1. So maybe I can get some leverage a little bit as well with those plays here this week. Those players are Harley Hall, who I mentioned last night on the show. This guy on the show, the football show with the guys, we were talking a little bit with Jeff about the golf this week. Harley Hall, maybe if you're looking to get in, we're already in, obviously. Hopefully you guys are in with me at about 50-1 at least. I got it at 55, and Hall was strong last week and is already looking pretty strong here again. He looked, out of that group that are 6 under, he might have looked the hottest yesterday with his form and watching the coverage. Also, we have Denny McCarthy at 66-1, as that's what I played at stations. You might have got the price similar or a little bit less, but he is also at 6 under. And I have one golfer, Pendrith, at 45 to 1, and he is 2 shots back. So I'm up to a pretty good position, but I want to add here, if I may, one more golfer as we get into the round here, as I start my a little bit of hedging process. And also I see a guy yesterday who he just missed the cut for my plays yesterday, but I'm going to add one right now. If you're interested, I want to quote this price, so I'm going to call it up on my little Vegas app here. I like offshore because I can use the computer, but the apps, I don't know how to. I got to go to the phone for that. I don't really like that too much, but that's how it works here in Vegas. So let me see here what that price is that we've got. Okay, I'm adding 2 golfers here today. I think these prices will be solid. I'm adding Sepp Straka. Straka is at 4 under right now, and he is approximately 25 to 1. Again, when I make these plays, as I send them out, I say you can use them in top 5s, top 10s, top 20s. Obviously, here now in the second round, we'll limit the options a little bit, but hey, if you're looking at a few golfers and maybe some matchups as well, these are the guys that I like for the week. So I'm looking to play them. So even if you didn't play it to win, maybe you can look at the other markets. Sepp Straka here is another play that I'm adding, and I'm also adding Heinrich Norlander here also. He is, I believe, at 5 under right now. He's in a group at 5 under, 1 shot back, and Norlander is approximately 40 to 1. Take him in a few markets here as well. So we started pre-flop with Henry, McNeely, Pendrith, Hall, and McCarthy, and Bjornsson, but Bjornsson was a scratch. And now I'm adding Norlander and Straka. The golf action here gets underway in a couple of hours from Hawaii. All right, let's go to the NBA. I'll take a few more comments from you here right now and see how we're doing here. Stop Geo in here. Nice to have you here today. And Nasty Nate says, how about them Irish? Nate, were we the only ones on the whole Sports Money Network to take the Irish? Man, I felt a little awkward yesterday with them coming back here a little bit. All right, let's go to the NBA and get our coverage started. This is maybe the featured, other than the football game. Got some games tonight. Take a look at this card and get it started here with the Pelicanos taking on the 76ers here in this one. We call up the odds. Typed these in a few hours ago, so maybe 4, maybe some 4.5s out there. The total is indeed about 220 here in this one with New Orleans and Philadelphia. I'm actually showing some handicapper support out there right now for the Pelicans on the road. We know the Sixers are inconsistent at best here at this point. And call up my numbers here a little bit. For the action in this one and get all ready here. I was so excited about my golf here. Almost forgot to be ready for the NBA, but here we go with the 76ers. Oh, man, you know what else I didn't cover, right? My players tonight in the college football game. Darn it. Well, I do like I'll just say that I didn't really have the props out yet. I just like to give out the players that I like. And really what I like tonight is the Ohio State running game. Those are the guys. Now they kind of split the action between Judkins and Henderson. I actually think Henderson, I'd look to see, you could probably look at it this way. If Henderson has lower yardage props than Judkins, then I'm on Henderson. And again, I didn't see him yet. I would imagine they're pretty close. Henderson may actually have the little bit higher projections, but one way or the other, I kind of like the lower of the two between those. I think Henderson's projection should be a little bit higher than Judkins, but that's where I'm looking tonight with the focus. I think if I looked at Texas, I'd also look at their running game. But again, I think the defense is, I know, look, this total's certainly higher than yesterday. And could it really be? We knew what we were getting into last night with the defenses. But all right, let me get to the NBA, though. Sorry about that. I left that one on the table there. Maybe if I had a a true script for the show. I could have done better. All right, 76ers here in this one. New Orleans, they've lost right now 15 of their last 16 games currently on the road here right now. Philadelphia has failed to cover the spread in 9 of their last 10 games at home as a favorite. They're a terrible favorite here right now. And maybe that is some of the support you're seeing for the Pelicans as they've kind of play a tiny bit better here, it feels like, of late, but they're still just a 7-31 record here. But the Sixers, 15-20, they're not really impressing many folks here right now. Now, the injury to Zion, it's kind of like a load management a little bit early on for Zion because he's back to being probable here tonight. Still no BI here as he's still out with that ankle injury. DeJounte Murray is questionable here for this one. Trey Murphy is out. Herbert Jones is out. So there's definitely some issues here. At least Brandon Boston is going to make this lineup here tonight to kind of help him out in the front court. But there's some injuries here for New Orleans for sure here. But like I said, you got Zion here tonight. And for the Sixers, Joel Embiid, he is out of this game here tonight, and also Kyle Lowry out as well. Drummond, he's out here tonight. What can you say? Everybody's feels like they're out of this game here right now. Paul George, though, is probable for this one. So if you guys want to chime in here, and not a great game, probably can stop talking about it here and just get to the plays if you've got one tonight with the Pelicans and the man, we're only down 3,500 over here in the markets here. This is great. All right, let's see what we got here. Anything in this one? Thank you, Tex, for your comments there on that one. Okay, here we go. Cash Kane says 76ers -4. Got to go with Maxey here, possibly to light it up here tonight. Could be one of those things where Maxey goes off and the team still has a low score here. Maybe could it be in this one tonight? And Cash. Oh, he's talking about the Notre Dame game there. You guys still got a little football conversation. Morgan Spooner, hello. Robert is going with the under here in this one, of course. Thank you, Fernando, for hooking me up here. I'm going to write this one down for sure. He's got a double chance on America here tonight in their opener. Fernando, that's my least favorite team, but hey, I'm a handicapper and a bettor. I'm probably bet on America more than I bet against them. All right. Kelly says, move on, Ramon. Come on. This is only Texas taking Philly. I'll take New Orleans. I'll go up against my man Tex tonight. We won't bet any money on it. We'll just take it here. I'm going to put a little money on it. All right. And don't forget, Terrell says, Ramon, don't forget, back-to-back here tonight. Got to take that into consideration here as well. Fernando doesn't like those teams there. So, all right. Yeah, for sure. In this one tonight with Philly and New Orleans. What was their result last? There wasn't a back-to-back, was it? Let's see here. Okay, whatever. Anyway, give me the Pels, and let's move on to a good game here, because we got a good one here. Next up with oops, this is a type. Where am I? Oh, maybe I didn't save it here. Oh, now I've really screwed it up. Let me put it in again. For some reason, the Bucks and the Magic, I've just accidentally deleted on the fly here. All right, here we go. I hit the wrong button from yesterday, and then I lost it. But there we go. That's how fast I am. Look at this. Actually, I might have typed in the wrong line here. It's up to 6 and 210 right now. That's when I wrote it down last night and typed it in. So let me get the right line. Should have just did that in the first place. Here we go. Bucks and Magic in this one, with the Bucks favored on the road here against our Orlando Magic. It's Orlando with the best record here right now. Maybe that's what they were talking about, because the Magic, of course, last night, Team Steam consensus, we didn't get it done there, obviously. I had the premium or the show play winner, as I said here, with the under last night in that one. But Magic obviously played last night. They're the team on the back-to-back here in this one. They did lose that game against the Timberwolves in a 104-89 loss in that one. A pretty stunning loss there, actually, by a pretty big margin there. Milwaukee's won and covered 2 straight in this one. Wins over San Antonio, win over Toronto. They got the money in both of those games. Milwaukee dominates this series for sure. They've won 17 of the last 19 meetings overall against Orlando, and Orlando's failed to cover the spread. 0-5 in their home games, last 5 home games against Milwaukee. It's been a good matchup for the Bucks when they face the Magic. Orlando's gone under in 7 straight games as an underdog. Milwaukee also 11 out of that 17-2, 11-2 on the road against the Magic. These are semi-frequent opponents here. Orlando's gone under in 5 straight games at home, and under, or 5 straight games overall, and under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. These are kind of under teams in general. Though widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but that doesn't look reflective of that line move there at 210, because it was definitely lower. So I'll kind of throw that out. Orlando 7-12 to the under at home this season. They've also gone under in 8 of their last 10 games overall. So let's see what you have in the chat. Magic has, I think, failed to cover here now. Let me take a look. Is it 5 straight home games right now? Let's see what you have here. So Magic in a little bit of a funk for them, it feels like, but I'm not going to say they're, terrible. Okay, let's see here. We got Kelly says take Milwaukee, and I'm sorry. Kelly's on Orlando. Thank you. Yep, sorry about that. I saw what you said there. Cash Kane likes the Magic on the money line here. Banchero's back here. Obviously made an impact, or let's see. Let me see what the official status. I know he is probable here. Yeah, he's probable here in this one. Suggs is questionable. Harris is questionable here for the Bucks. You got Lillard probable. Giannis is probable. And Middleton, expect him in the lineup here tonight. So let's see. Let's go to the chat. Action Jackson, hello. And Fernando says this is the one for Giannis. He's going to come in and dominate here tonight. And Robert says, fear the deer, could it be? And Thomas is on the Magic here. And Action Jackson says, I think they've broken out of this slump. I just think it's not the right spot. Look, we love Orlando, don't we? I mean, we like money, but maybe this could be the spot. Milwaukee's on a little bit of a roll here again, obviously, with a couple of wins in a row. So, and also, Milwaukee 9-8 against the spread on the road, just 11-15 against the spread as a favorite. But Orlando is 6-10 against the spread as a dog. Now they are 12-7 against the spread at home, but I am going to take the Milwaukee Bucks here on the road and lay a little bit of money here, lay some points here. And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. So let's move on to the game that I flashed up there and then deleted. I got to fix it here now. Really screwed that up. Okay, it's the Pacers taking on the Warriors here tonight. There we go. There we go. All right, Pacers and Warriors. You got the Pacers in this one, favored by 7.5, maybe 8 right now, and maybe this total even has gone up to 224 in some spots, 223.5 at the sharp books here. It looks like the sharp books are 7.5, 223.5, and the square books are 8 and 224. The Warriors, of course, last night did the job against the Pistons. I took it on the chin, certainly in that one. I took the Pistons there. Even I wasn't worried. I thought Curry would make the game. He did, and maybe it actually made the difference as the Warriors looked convincing in that road victory. It wasn't an overwhelming victory, but they did appear to have it in control most of the way. We did have the winner here on the show with the under, but let's check out this one here with the Pacers and the Warriors here tonight.
Steam play.
I'll get to some steam for you in just a moment. I think we had a move here just now. So, all right, this is an underdog dominated series between the two teams. The last 6 meetings have been won by the underdog. But when these two teams have met, they meet twice a year, of course. It's been actually 9 straight covers for the underdog in this series too. And now it could be coincidence, but interesting contrast of style. I don't know if it's even a contrast of styles, but maybe there is something to the matchup that kind of lends to the dog. But it's the Warriors. It's a big dog here. They are on the back-to-back, of course, coming into this one following that 3-point win last night. So for Indiana, they're on a roll here right now. 4 straight wins and covers over Chicago, Brooklyn, Phoenix, and Miami, getting the money here for sure, and playing pretty good defense of late. Golden State's gone under in 10 straight games right now, and they're going under on the road quite a bit as well. And I think that's a trend for sure. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under between these two teams. The Warriors have gone under in 5 straight road games in that span of under games, obviously. Indiana's covered the spread, however, in 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. That's because they're usually the underdog in this series in years past. I mean, that's still, a 4-year sample size and even greater when you're talking about the underdog covering those games for about probably out of the pandemic, actually. So through all that time, it's usually, let me look at that. I think Indiana's won 4. Let's see, they've won the last 2. They won back already in December, 111 to 105 at Golden State as a 6-point dog, and they won last year at Golden State as a dog as well. Golden State won here in Indiana. Basically, you just have the road teams winning and covering a lot in this series. So some real contrast here. Makes it a little bit tough. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. Hopefully I didn't botch that one up too much, but that feels like the story with these two. And I think there is some notable injuries here that Mikey was talking about him last night. Pajemski, he's questionable. Moses Moody, questionable. Wiggins is out of this game. We know Kuminga, he's definitely out with a sprained ankle here right now for the Pacers. Halliburton's questionable. Miles Turner, questionable here in this one. All right, here we go. I think chosen one. And hello to Donut Silks today. Thank you. And chosen one. I think he's going under here in this one right now. And Orlando. Oh, we're back on that Orlando. Thank you, Tex. Sorry, I missed you on that first go around there with that last game. Cash Kane here. Warriors in this one tonight. They are on the back-to-back. They're on the 3rd of 4 and the 4th and 6. So makes it a little bit rough here for a team like an aging team like the Warriors here. But again, the dogs always get the money in this one, it feels like. And Action Jackson says there has to be something to that. All right. I think it's time for me to make my call here in this one between. Uh-oh. Let me get that one here real quick. It was a few moments ago. I think I kind of missed the timing on it, but Lemoyne took the steam in college basketball. They're not covering much this year, but they took the steam. Fairleigh Dickinson's been covering for sure in their games too, but Lemoyne took the steam against Fairleigh Dickinson. The Dolphins, they were -2. They're going to be up to -2.5 or 3 here right now. Lemoyne just took the steam here in this one. All right, appreciate that. And look, I know what the series says here, but you saw the comments there. The rest here. The Warriors are kind of an aging bunch, it feels like. I'm going to go ahead and lay the Pacers here. I think the line kind of indicates what could happen possibly in this game. I'm actually going to lay the points. I know my trends are going to favor the Warriors here in this one, but Robert's on the Pacers here or the Warriors team total under. So I think Chosen One's on the right path, possibly there, and I've got the Pacers here tonight in this one. All right, another great game here tonight with the Thunder taking on the Knicks, and the Thunder, a road favorite here in this one against the Knickerbockers here tonight. Let's go through this one. The OKC, they're obviously the game there against Cleveland the other night. Big news there, and they lost that one to end that winning streak there, and the Knicks come in off of a convincing win over Toronto to get a cover there following 3 straight losses against Orlando, Chicago, and Oklahoma City. But Oklahoma City favored here in this one. Remember, it was 117 to 107 on that matchup back on January the 3rd as Oklahoma City got the win at home against the Knicks. And they'll come back here now a few games later and meet again in the Garden on Friday night. Go ahead and get ready to comment in the chat. In this one, Oklahoma City obviously had that long winning streak snapped with that loss against the Knicks. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams in New York have gone over, and 5 of the last 6 meetings overall have gone over between these two teams. Oklahoma City has won 5 straight times here in New York. Obviously, they're playing well. They're making them even lay this number here right now. Oklahoma City 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. Yeah, the Knicks have had some woes here, it feels like, of late. Doesn't feel like they're as bad as they might be with this spread here anyway. But let me go to the chat here and see what you guys have in this one. Knicks have gone under here in 3 straight games. And Thunder's been covering a little bit as a favorite. They've covered in 4 straight as a favorite. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. Let me find the Cash King, I think, is starting us off here in this one. They're at OKC laying the points. Thomas said, yep, Bancaro, we got him in tonight, Thomas. I've got him in for sure. Here's Tex. He's on the Knicks in this one. And Cash Kane says, he already took OKC, but he likes them to win between 1 and 10 points. Robert's on the Thunder here in this one. Thomas likes OKC here as well. And Terrell says he's got SGA to show out, I think is what he's saying here tonight. Says he has great games against the New York Knicks. Thomas says he's seen enough at 3-1. I think that's what I counted. 3 on, because Thomas is on it. So 3 picks to 1 so far gives Thomas enough for a consensus here in this one. Okay, so he's got it as a consensus there. So I'll just pivot to the total. I'll take the under in this one with OKC and the Knicks. For me, Oklahoma City is a team that plays, what can you say? They're one of the best defensive teams in the league, right? For sure. They've gone under in 15 of their 19 games as a favorite. 7-10 to the under on the road. Well, the Knicks, they have only been underdogs 4 times this season. They are 3-1 to the over as an underdog. I'm going to go under, though, here at 224. 225 and a half at some spots here right now. I'm going to go under in the Thunder and the Knicks. Action Jackson says the Knicks are a good defensive team. Yeah, right. I agree. And the Thunder, I think they're better. These are 2 good defensive teams for sure. Here, I'm going to go under in this one. All right. Johnny Walker's got to play in that Sacred Heart game. I'm going to hopefully we get to it here in a half an hour. I've got the preview ready, but Action Jackson says, or Johnny says, we better get the play in there real quick. This one starts at 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific. So he's got Sacred Heart over in the first half. Thank you, to Johnny. He's on top of it here, but hey, I've got the graphic loaded. I know it's the early game. We kind of go over the early games for sure. Flynn Jones here today. Nice to have Flynn again, member of the Chat All-Stars. He's got the Knicks to win by 7 on the alternate line. Thank you, Flynn. Appreciate you. All right. That's it for that one. I'll take the under here. Let's move on. We got more decent games here. I'm going to give the Kings some credit here right now, for sure. How about it? Everybody was, oh, you fired Mike Brown. What are you doing? Well, sometimes you can shake things up a little bit. Nobody's saying Mike Brown's a terrible coach. It just wasn't working out. All of a sudden, here comes Doug Christie, the former NBA player. I remember him back at Pepperdine. I'm so old, but Christie was a pretty good NBA player as well, and he's come in and fired up the Kings here to a 5-1 record since he took over. They've covered all those games too. Maybe the win against Philadelphia on New Year's Day was a push for some, but no matter what, the Kings are the team getting the money, it feels like, here right now. And, well, me, I think I know. We got Nasty Nate. We know what he's going to say. And, yeah, maybe I got one or two wrong here of late, but I think we've been nailing the Celtics every time, mostly because they're so predictable. Now, Boston has won 15 of the last 16 years that the Kings have come in. They always beat the Kings, no doubt about it. But remember, Boston here, they have failed to cover the spread in 11 of their last 12 games when coming off of a win. They are an up and down team for the most part against the spread. Remember, they beat Denver last time out, 118-106 after they lost to Oklahoma City. So, I don't know, doesn't feel like the right spot, especially when you got the Kings on fire here right now with Doug Christie. Now, De'Aaron Fox, there is certainly some injury news to kind of keep posted on here, but he is questionable. He got a sore butt, and remember, he fell on it there and had to be kind of laid on the floor there for a minute. So for Boston, you got Derek White. He is probable for this game. He's been under the weather a little bit. Walsh and Peterson are out off the bench for Boston. So we can get your comments and plays ready here for the Celtics and the Kings. Kings have gone over in 3 straight games here right now, but see what you guys have in this one with the Kings coming in, that 5-game winning streak here. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under when playing here in Boston. And we're going to the comments to see what we got. It's going to be Celtics to smash. Now, 9 points. That's kind of a smashing. They wouldn't cover. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe Nasty Nate's saying they'll smash. Oh, great. Nate, cool. They're going to the game tonight. And here's Robert. He likes Kings and under here. And it should take KP going over. Irish King said it was a good day. I was able to find a profit. Had some decent plays here for me too. Like to have it a little better. Feel like it was going pretty good. I guess that's it for you guys. You know what I have to take here. I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings, of course. I'm going to Nate, I'm on these Celtics. They're easy to figure out. When you're as good as they are, you can turn it on and turn it off and still get the win, maybe not cover. Maybe the Kings will have a little bit of a letdown with all this great surge here. Not many people are talking, it feels like, about this, change of head coach, and maybe this will work out. Christie looks terrific as far as being in charge and in control, except when he wanted to fight Steve Kerr the other day, but I'm sure those guys are on good terms. So, all right, that's it for that one, man. Okay, not much from you guys here. We're still looking for our we got one consensus here anyway. Well, we're going to have to dip down here a little bit in quality and go with the Wizards and the Bulls in this one. With the Bulls, an 11.5-point favorite, total 242.5 here right now. Washington has lost 4 straight games again. 8-29 right now. They did get a cover last time against Philly, losing by 6 in the game a couple of nights ago. For Chicago here, they're off a loss to the Pacers, a blowout loss actually, but they've been playing okay here of late. A couple of wins and covers before that, but they got to lay double digits here right now to the Wizards. We know the Wizards can, be in some bad spots here, it feels like, but 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Washington's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games on the road. Chicago's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games at home. Chicago's gone under 2-6 to the under as a favorite. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. Chicago here also kind of a decent favorite. They've won 5 of 8 games as a favorite, but just 7-11 against the spread straight up at home right now. But again, you got a miserable Washington team, 5-9-1 against the spread on the road. So what can we do here in this one? Washington's lost 14 straight games on the road, and Chicago has covered 8 of their last 11 games after a loss, but got to cover double digits with this team. So let's go to the chat here. I'm not going to spend too long on this one, right? And neither are you guys, because I don't really see anything here. Fernando said this one keeps moving up and up and up, right? It's funny. Sometimes you get 2 crummy teams, and it's not always necessarily an over. If you especially look at Chicago, the totals are always the same on Chicago games because we think of them having all these high scores this year. But look what happened against Indiana. That was an under at 246.5, even though it went to 242 in the final. The game against the Spurs was a 236. That went under. Game against Washington last time, remember, just back on New Year's Day, these two teams met. It was 125-107. The Wizards won at home, but the 242, that ended 232, and that one went under as well. So the widely reported steam did come in on the over here, as Fernando kind of notes there. Cash Kane here on the under. I've got the Chicago Bulls to rock the Wizards here tonight in this one. All right, not much from you guys on that crummy game, so let's try this one. Not a great matchup either, with the Nets coming in here, taking on the Nugs. Nuggets are 15-point favorite. The total here is 219. There we go. Brooklyn comes in here right now with a 3-game losing streak in this one. The Nuggets have been alternating wins and losses here for the last couple of games. They did beat the Clippers here at home last time out, 126-103. After that Celtics game, they got the money there against the Clippers. So we'll see here in this one what we get with the injury status coming into this one. We know Joker has been fighting that illness here of late. But, if it is just a cold, we'll see what happens. He is listed as questionable. Obviously, the line indicates that maybe we expect him in there. I don't know how much the line could vary if he wasn't necessarily in there in a matchup like this. You have Aaron Gordon doubtful for the game. Spencer Jones questionable as well. For the Nets here, Cam Thomas still out of the lineup. He is a pretty big factor for this team this season. He's kind of one of the unheralded strong players in the league right now, averaging nearly 25 points per game. So no Cam again here tonight. He's out with a hamstring injury and plenty of injuries right now for the Nets. Whitehead is out. Russell is out, and they've had other players out here for quite a while now as they've been hamstrung by the injury bug, it feels like here a little bit. But again, I'm going to have to just kind of wing it here on this one with Nikola Jokic been sick here this week. Let's go with your comments here in this one. Denver just, always wins these games for sure. They've beaten 19-1 last 20 games against sub 500 teams, but the road team usually gets the cover in this series, whether it's Brooklyn or Denver. Denver's always favored, but whichever team is on the road, that's the team that usually has gotten the money. The Denver Nuggets did not cover, though. Let's see here. What was the meeting here last year? 122-101. I easily got the money as a 9.5 point favorite last time they met here in Denver. Bobby Mack says, give me Nets and under. I think that's it from you guys in the chat. All right. Guess I'll have to make the call here in this one. I'll just take the under. I was going to use the under as a premium here, but 15 points, no joker. Probably not going to make the premiums here at this point without really knowing the status of what's going on. And with a 15-point spread, I might just go with the under as my play here tonight on the show, I think. Irish King says Nuggets easy cover here tonight. That's it for the NBA. Thanks a lot, you guys, for the contributions. We have the one consensus play on the Thunder. So let's move on, if we can. Go to the ice tonight with our 5-game card. Nice little card here. Started off with the Canadians. My Canadians, oh, man, they've been looking good. Man, who was talking about it the other day? The Canadians, are they going to the playoffs again? Are they going to make an impact here this time? And you got to figure they've had some, interesting things certainly going on this season. They've looked pretty good. I mean, Lane Hudson is just a budding superstar here, it feels like. He's been pretty good. Awesome defenseman who can score points for the team and everything. So, man, could he win the Calder is what the headlines kind of said today. But see what you got here in this one with the Canadians tonight. Taking on the Capitals. Jacob Dobbs is confirmed in goal tonight. Canadians have come in winning 5 of their last 6 games here right now, and you'll have Dobbs pretty strong so far. 0.48 goals against, a 2-0 record, 3 appearances, I believe, so far coming up from Laval Rocket. Just a real impact so far, helping this team to this recent surge. What's been going on here for the Canadians? They beat Vancouver at home last time out. They beat Colorado on the road. They lost to Chicago, but they beat VGK. They beat Tampa Bay. So that's been the impressive part. And they've won 8 of their last 10 overall. Washington, they're still doing the Washington things here. They've won 6-2-2 in their last 10, 14-4, straight up at home this year. Look, they're a $2 favorite, as we mentioned, on that steam that came in. So see if you're going to play the hockey tonight here with me. And Canadians and Capitals, if you so choose. All right. This one's usually been kind of an underdog series of usually Montreal, it feels like, really. But let me see what the season series kind of looks like with these two. They met back in December, a 4-2 win for the Capitals at Montreal. Let me get some notes here, and I'll go to the chat, give you guys a moment, see if you guys want to play this one. Nate DeGreat, hello, nice to see you today. It's going to be me and Bobby Mack here. It looks like he'll take the Montreal Canadiens, playing well for sure here right now. He likes them on this puck line. Joe says he's going to be on the over for sure in this one, and first period over. Okay, gotcha. It says Caps are going over for sure. A little bit of hockey steam I just want to mention. This was one that I was going to play here, so I want to squeeze this in right now. Central Michigan and Toledo is getting steam to the under. I've got it marked down right here. I was going to go under as my play here on the show, mostly based on Central Michigan in this role. So 152 going to turn into 151 here. I'm going under with Central Michigan and Toledo. Here's the thing, college basketball, that's a 8 Eastern 5 start, and that's it for college basketball tonight as far as no late West Coast action. Really no late West Coast. The latest game tonight, these last hockey and basketball start at 9:10 Eastern. There's no late game tonight. Sharon here today. Nice to see you there. Philly Eagle Flyer doesn't like the hockey card. What are we going to do? Well, I'll just make a pick then. Look, if Joe T's on the over, I'll just pivot here to the Montreal Canadiens. On the puck line in this one, I'll take the Habs here with Robert, and I'll go plus the goal and a half and take my hot Canadiens. It feels like here in this one right now, I feel like, man, could we really have something here with this Montreal team? Could they win a playoff series or something? Who knows? 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over, Joe. And Montreal covering the puck line like nobody's business right now. 9 of the last 10 games, Montreal has covered their puck line quite often as an underdog here. I think they were only favored, let's see, against Blackhawks, of course. Okay. Let's go to the next one here now with the Canucks taking on the Hurricanes here in this one. You've got Thatcher Demko here in the lineup against probably Tokarski here in this one, making just his 5th start of the season. Demko's just making his 7th start of the season overall, but was a little bit injured here of late, but the Canucks have lost 3 in a row here right now. They lost to Washington on the road last time out. They also lost at Montreal. They've had a couple of struggles, it feels like, here of late. And as far as the Hurricanes are concerned, they're coming in off a win against Toronto last night. Of course, 6-3. We did have the Hurricanes as our premium pick winner here yesterday, but tonight it looks like it's going to be get these goalies straight. Make sure we got it right here with Demko and Tokarski, and then get your comments from the chat possibly here as well. Carolina's won 5 of their last 6 games overall. They've also won 5 of the last 7 meetings against the Canucks here in Carolina. These teams meet here just once a year. Vancouver's gone under in 5 of their last 7 games on the road here right now. And Vancouver's also covered the puck line in 5 straight meetings against Carolina. Usually a pretty close game here. So let's see what you guys have right now in this one between Vancouver and Carolina here tonight. And we've got Robert likes the under here in this one. And I think that's it from you guys. Justin's here in the chat. Thank you, Justin. And so look, I want to mention, actually, I did see Justin comment in a thread on Facebook, and one of our regular friends here in our chat, who's definitely stopped by many a times, commented in our chat. You'll recognize his name, Joey Harb. He's fighting a little bit of a fighting in the hospital here right now. Was in intensive care, so I don't think anybody watching there, but maybe Joey, if you're there, man, if you're watching by chance, please get better right now. I know there's a lot of prayers up there, so we don't really know much, but Joey was in intensive care within the last day or so. It didn't sound great, but hopefully it's just something that he's fighting through and will be okay with some great care. Joey Harb, our friend, who comes here in the chat very frequently, And just by chance, if he is watching, Joey, please, please, please fight very hard to get better here right now and join us back here in the chat and in your Facebook chat very, very soon. Okay. Thank you. And thanks, Justin. I'm glad to see you. And that made me think of that. It's just something I've seen here within the last, I feels like within the last 36 hours or so. And thank you very much, Justin, and our friend Joey Harb. So please think about him, everybody. All right. And Stirr's got a prop here tonight. You can't spell Canes without Nakus in there tonight with an ATG here in this one. I'm going to take the under here in this one with Vancouver and Carolina. Maybe it should be my premium here. Carolina's gone under in 8 of their last 10. And these two teams kind of trend under. Of late, Vancouver's been going over, that's for sure. But I think kind of long term in this role, it's kind of been an under, it feels like, for the Canucks. So that's just kind of the way I think I'll approach this one. I think we had a good statistic on that. Let me see if I've got it here. If not, we'll just move on here with our 5-game card tonight. Let's see, 7 of the last 8 Canucks games when they were dogs against opponents who were on the back-to-back have gone under. So it says 6 under 15 there on the screen, but I think there are still some. No, okay. It's definitely 6 over. So I think you're getting a good line. That's why it should have been the premium, because I feel like this one's kind of moving higher. I'm showing DraftKings right now at 6.5, under at -130. So it does look like the total is moving up a little bit here. I'm going to take the under. Man, maybe that's a premium, but I'm going to just have to go with it here right now. With that Carolina steam that came in, I'm going to have to reassess, I think, before making the call here maybe tonight. We'll see if I can get a premium. I might have a short card here in the NHL tonight, actually. Might have a short card overall. For me, it might be a short card for the volume man here. All right, let's take a look here at that's why I was thinking about maybe if anybody gets that $3 card tonight, I'm going to throw in tomorrow's Saturday card. You get the $3 tonight, throw in all those college basketball tomorrow, because I don't know if this is going to be a very thrilling card here, volume-wise. And that's not very often. Okay, let's go to the next one here with the Blackhawks. We're going to take on here the Red Hot Red Wings in this one. The Wings, $1.85. Right now at the square books, and the total here, maybe, this one has definitely gone much higher than this right now. I think mostly you're seeing 6 flat, maybe even 6 over. The sharp books continue to move this one a little bit higher right now. I'll put 6 flat, but you look at the square books and they're still hanging on to 6 slightly under, it feels like, even 5.5 juice to the over. But now you're seeing the sharp books. You got Circa at 6 over at -112. So definitely a little bit of a move here to the over in this one. You got the Red Wings, a big favorite here. They come in with a winning streak for sure. Right now they're hot. And for the Blackhawks, they're coming in off of a win over Colorado. Hey, we had them the other night here on the show, so we knew what we were doing anyway with Chicago in that one. Detroit, they've won and covered the puck line, actually, in each of these last 5 games against Ottawa, Winnipeg, the Blue Jackets, the Penguins, and the Capitals. Very hot right now. The Blackhawks have gone under in 9 of their last 13 games on the road, but 4 of the last 5 have gone over. So kind of a long-term under, but short-term over right now for the Blackhawks. Detroit, just a favorite for the 9th time this season. These two teams kind of trend under, but the Red Wings do go over a little bit when favored. I don't know if I think they're 5-3 to the over as a favorite this season. So Chicago has lost 11 straight games on the road, coming off of a home win. Detroit's covering these puck lines right now. Look, we were on Chicago. We were on Chicago last time, but I think I'm going to end up here on the Red Wings on the puck line for my play here on the show. I'll try them to get this extra money here tonight. Lay in the 1.5 at. Let me see if I can get that number here for you. It's got to be about minus $1.10 or so, right? With this one, minus 1.5 at plus 130, 135 here at some books. So, okay, let's do it. I'm going to take the Red Wings here to keep it rolling right now against Chicago tonight. And you guys have some other comments, I think, here as well. Thank you, everybody, for hopefully, let's see if we can maybe clip this and send it to Joey here. I'll just put these up. Let me do it real quick. Maybe Justin can help me, or I'll try to clip it and maybe put it on that Facebook post, Justin, that they had from Joey's mom. Was it his mom or his wife, girlfriend, someone, family member? Joey, we want to send you our wishes here from me and Justin and Nunya and Sharon and all of the chat. We're thinking about you and we want you to get better. So thank you, Joey. Please fight hard. All right, maybe we can clip that. Thank you guys for that. And here's Robert. He likes the over here in this one tonight. Action Jackson is on the Blackhawks here. And Sharon's going to give with the Blackhawks puck line. So maybe I'm on the island here. Curtis likes the over here in this one. I'll take the Red Wings on the puck line. Maybe I should have looked at the chat first. All right, we got two more here in the NHL. We're doing pretty good on time. Man, we might be out of here by 11:15 Eastern. So I've only queued up about 5 college basketball games here tonight. All right, here we go. It's the Kings. They've hit the road here after having to cancel that home game, and they are going to go up to Winnipeg tonight. It could be a little distraction. I think it's more of a talking point, really. Again, I think what we've seen or heard from professional athletes, is as much as it might suck to hear, right? Just getting away from the situation. You got to stay focused in your job as a professional athlete. So hitting the road kind of may be a good thing, unless, of course, you have some concerns there. I don't know. We've heard a few stories of some athletes. We certainly heard about certain celebrities and everything because some of those rich neighborhoods in LA, but hey, some of those athletes are living there too. And even if you weren't, having your home, maybe hopefully it all survived, but you may have had evacuation orders or even a warning. They accidentally set out 2 warnings to evacuate certain areas that were false, as the system kind of broke down there a little bit. So politicians are taking the heat and everyone's making fun of certain guys. But again, you guys, no man-made, really, I just don't know. No man, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I mean, no man-made way to stop some of those. It's hard. Unless you have a giant blanket like those things on TV where you throw it over your fire in the kitchen. You're just not going to stop anything when Mother Nature strikes there a little bit. Yeah, there's a couple people in trouble maybe for some of the cause. But all right, let me just talk hockey here with the Kings on a roll here. 4 straight wins coming in. Of course, I missed that game the other night at home against the Flames, if you will. Maybe that's why they didn't play the game the other night with the Flames and the Kings, right? Kings, though, have won 4 in a row. They beat Tampa Bay back 6 days ago now, so they have had some time here without playing that one game. The Jets here, obviously, very, very strong. This is the featured game, obviously, of the night with 2 of the best records in the league. The Kings are 23-10-5. The Jets are 28-12-2. Coming into this one, you got Hellebuck here going probably for the Jets. That's the way I'm showing it there anyway. Wanted to mention, I didn't mention as I checked the goalies here, though, Cam Talbot is in there for the Red Wings. That's who we had, up there on that one. But we'll see here what we have, if any. We're on the West Coast now, so we're not likely going to get the projected goalies, but nonetheless, you've got Hellebuck expected and Kemper expected here. Kemper's 11-2-5 with a 2.49 goals against average and a 92% save percentage. Hellebuck, one of the best, certainly here, 25-6-2 with a 2.15 goals against average and a 92.5% save percentage. So, we've got a 5.5. It may be even juiced already. It feels like to the under here in this one. Winnipeg 15-4 at home, certainly pretty strong. Kings though 9-8. On the road here, and getting a little bit of plus money in this one. So go ahead in the chat if you want to post a play here. Let's see what you got. I kind of want to take my Kings, to be honest with you, in this one. But let me see if you can give me a suggestion here or take me off of my play. But LA, they've won 7 straight games off of a home win. They beat Tampa Bay in that game 2-1. Winnipeg, though, has covered the puck line in 13 of 14 home games here, but sometimes they were an underdog in those games. The Kings were favored, certainly, in some of these games on the road. These two teams have already met once this year. It was in LA. Kings won it 4-1. Winnipeg did win the last meeting here back last April, 4-3, but the Kings got the money on the puck line in that one. So, all right, let's see what you got here. Winnipeg's gone under in 5 straight home games off of a home win. 4 of the Jets' last 5 games have gone over here. I think it's 4 straight, actually. 5-2 win over Nashville. They had losses to Detroit, Anaheim, and Colorado, all losing against the puck line in that one. But Winnipeg has covered 5 of their last 7 puck lines at home. All right, let me see what you got here in this one. Kings have covered the puck line in 5 of the last 6 against the Jets. All right, let's see here with Sharon going with the Kings here. Sir Mackey, thank you so much, man. You're so great to us. I really appreciate you. All right, and here's Robert. He's on the under in this one. Oh, hey, Robert, don't be giving out the premiums today. You already know. I think Robert and I always tease him when we disagree, but I think we've agreed on every single play, it felt like, on this card so far. All right. And here's Action Jackson on the Jets here. But I'm going to go against my man Action. I got to take my Kings here right now on a roll at this point. I'm going to try them here one more time, man. I like what I see. And I'm hoping that, they stay focused. Again, it's a unique situation here, having to get away right when the community's affected. We can use it as a talking point, but it affects everybody. We know it. And I even made the comparison to myself. I've lived in Southern California, and even though I've never been under the threat of a fire in my, to evacuate or anything, when the fires happen in the area where I live, which was a rural or a suburban area of San Diego County, when the fires come, it affects the whole freaking thing. From just making trips to places, power outages, weird, just crazy things. One time, we had the fires. It knocked the power out, and no power for like a day and a half, and the fires were miles and miles away, and it could not be fixed. So just weird things happen in that. Even if you saw some of the clips of the fire, right, the neighborhoods were good, and the neighborhoods were all clear. They didn't burn down, but the street lights were flashing 24 hours, because there's no one to fix them. And I'm not talking about the traffic lights. The street lights were like flashing. What an annoying thing that. Just weird things. Not that it's going to affect, I don't know, the street lights could be coming through your window. anyways, prayers up. One more game on the ice here in this. One more comment there. Action Jet. Oh, he said the Jets in that revenge spot. Certainly, the Kings won that game back. It was back in November. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the final game of the night here because we got to get going. Oh man, did we miss the tip off here? Sorry about that, you guys. With Merrimack and Sacred Heart just going here right now. I blew it. You guys, what an idiot. Here, I think we still get on it. Maybe we get on it live. I know someone said over first forgive me now, but I'm on the under in this game, you guys, with Merrimack and Sacred Heart. I'll also take Merrimack here. Right now, I'm going to punch this bet in here right now on the air. You guys are just tipping off here. I'm taking Merrimack and I'm taking the under here. I think the line is still up here right now as the game's just tipping off here. Give me Merrimack minus the 2.5. And let me punch this in and go under 139.5. What an idiot, you guys. I'm so sorry here. No preview, but I'm taking Merrimack in the under right now. I think we've done pretty well on these early starts when I give out both. And man, what an idiot. Okay, sorry, you guys. Talking about the firestorms here, and all of a sudden I missed the early tip. That's okay. I'm sorry about that. Again, they've actually moved this start time, I believe now. I'm seeing it could be in about 15 minutes. So I think we're actually okay there. We got one more hockey game to look at, but just want to – let me see if I can punch this line up here. I think there it was, 2.5, 2 and 140. At least I'm showing that I was all ready and prepared with the graphic, even if I blew it here. But just want to see if we have don't we get some coverage here, this one? Just want to see if I got this right, if the time change here. It looks like a little bit of a delay here right now. I'm showing a start time actually of 11:15 right now. So you know, if you guys see the same thing that I do, I can't if I'm quite finding it here on the fly just yet, but I want to see what was up because I see the sports books have actually adjusted the time here right now, and I'm calling the game up here real quick to see where we stand. And maybe there is a delay. So, okay, let me just go back to the hockey, and we'll kind of tip on the AOD says Merrimack going to smack Sacred Heart around. And for some reason, the game not quite coming up on ESPN, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with the delay here. I'm actually going to have to look this up and see what's going on. Maybe they didn't wake up yet. Okay, no, we're all good to go. We have the lineups and everything as well, so just looks like just a slight delay in the start time right now. I don't have the reason why on that. Maybe for idiots like me that didn't get – okay, here we go. This is actually breaking news. I don't think it's worth the breaking news banner here, but the game is delayed 15 minutes because, hey, have you ever been to a high school game? I don't know. I'm a Sacred Heart's got a nice gym for sure at the Pitt Center, but the officials are late. The officials are late. There's a delay. The referees come in, right? They're taking off their jackets, sign their card, and get the game started. So a little bit of a delay. The officials. How's the weather up? Maybe how's the weather up there in Sacred Heart, Fairfield, Connecticut, right? So, and remember, it's these guys are former. It's weird, right? Because these guys were Northeast Conference teams, and now they're in the MAAC together. So it is kind of interesting with those two clubs. So, all right, I did much ado about nothing. We'll go back to the hockey real quick. I'm on Merrimack and under there. So let's go back to the last hockey game, you guys. Thanks, Dex. Yeah, the referees are late. You heard it here first. All right. Let's go to the Sharks and the Utah Hockey Club here tonight. We've seen steam on the side and total in this game. The steam came in on the Utah Hockey Club here, and that's why they're at least 250. It feels like here right now. 273 at BetOnline, 285 at Bovada. Come on, you're not respecting these Sharks these days. Utah Hockey Club total here 6. I think we can. There's some. It's either 6.5 under 25 or 6 over 20. Depends where you're shopping here. Utah's lost a couple of games in a row right now. Sharks have won 2 of their last 3, although they lost to VGK the other night. But they beat New Jersey and they beat Tampa Bay here. A couple good wins for the Sharks here of late. I'm going to show Askarov here going up against Merrimack. In this one, I think, pretty good spot here probably for Merrimack, right? He is 9-11 with a 2.43 goals against average and a 91.5% save percentage. Askarov, 3-2-2 with a 2.3 goals against. He's been a pretty good situation, good find here, at least for the Sharks here for now. And see maybe what you have in this one. San Jose, they've been okay covering a few puck lines, but 27-16 as a puck line dog. Utah 5-10 as a puck line favorite here, and even got to lay a little bit of juice right now. It feels like with Utah to take their puck line here in this spot. They're -1.5 and -110 right now at some of the square books. This one really has been pushed up big time here tonight. I think it's too much, man. I mean, I'm probably going to take the Sharkies here plus the 1.5 just because I can't stand the fact that this thing has gone up 65 cents here, and you're having pretty decent goaltending here of late. San Jose has gone under in 7 of their last 8 games on the road when coming off of a home loss. And you look at it here, the steam came in on the under here a little bit. Right now, the total on screen there, 6.5 under 25. But if I'm going to take the under, I better I'll put it at 6 over 20. It's not going to be much lower than that. But I'll give myself a little challenge here and go with the Sharks. maybe I tip my hand there on the total a little bit. But at this price now at Sharks plus 1.5 at maybe -110 or so, that might be good enough for me. Utah's won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two franchises dating back to last season. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams actually have gone over here in this one. But like I said, San Jose has been kind of going under on the road for the most part. So let's see if you have anything in this last game. I've really screwed up the whole show here. Oh, Robert, we can't be heck. What if it was some weather or something, or maybe maybe the Uber took a wrong turn. AOD thinks they're still in the parking lot there. Hey, man, we got to go into the game. All right. So really here, just to make it quick here as the game gets rolling, there it is. We're ready to start our college basketball. This is going to be quick because we're going to end the show, but we've got some nice college basketball games starting with that one there. We did say, to make it clear, I'm taking Merrimack and the under for a little. You could parlay them up if you want. The widely reported steam actually did come in on the under in this game. Current line is 2.5 and 140 for the most part here. Sacred Heart comes in with a 6-8 record here right now. But I think, one thing you look at this matchup, like I said, very interesting that these two teams, former conference rivals here in that league, and now they're in this league, and Merrimack is already off to a 3-0 start in the MAAC, and Sacred Heart has a 2-1 record so far. So this is a pretty good game, right? Certainly for Merrimack, they have probably the leading candidate for the conference player of the year, of course, in Adam Clark, the sophomore, pretty pretty good star player here. We'll see if Clark can keep it going. This is a good game, pretty important game here right now. Marist is probably the favorite to win the conference here right now, but you certainly got to think Merrimack and Quinnipiac also has been looking pretty good here so far. Mount St. Mary's as well could be an impactful team in the race, but it's still wide open there in the MAA, the new look MAAC. Okay, got some 4 other games to look at here real quick. Oh, you guys have some comments? Chase J, hello, thank you. Chase, we did the hockey already, Chase, just moments ago. So just rewind about 15 minutes there. You had the hockey coverage, maybe 20 minutes. All right. Kent State and Buffalo here in this one with Kent on the road, 10-4. Buffalo just 5-9 right now. You got Kent favored by 10.5 here in this one. Get my notes here back and ready right now. There we go. Buffalo comes in on a pretty long losing streak here at this point. They've lost to Ohio U. They lost to Miami O in conference so far. They also have losses to Temple, to Georgia. They covered against St. Bonaventure. That doesn't have – someone covered against St. Bonaventure. For Kent here, they come in off of a win, 68-50 over NIU last time out. Kent is 7-2 against the spread as a favorite so far. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. 5 straight meetings between the two teams in Buffalo have gone under. Kent has won 5 straight games against Buffalo here. I'm going to lay the points on the road in this one. I know that they go under in this series, but man, these Buffalo games at home in conference now, see, I might have the number on this, but they usually go over. I wanted to go premium, but the series history might keep me off of it. Maybe I'll just look a little bit deeper later and see if we're going to add it. But Buffalo, some of these games, look at these scores here. Now, I know that they've had some overs here. The Ohio game went way over. The Miami O game went over as well. But you go back, man, they usually don't quite get that low of a score. Oh, the Bonaventure game was 120 points. That was the under. Okay. Look at these scores, though. You see at 141 there, right? But Buffalo, 167 against Ohio, 172 against Miami O, 162 against Temple. They did allow 100 points to Georgia. It still went over at 149. So it just seems like Buffalo is always going over 144, even if this series is an under. I'll just take Kent State. This probably will be a high score, it feels like. I don't know. Robert does like the over after all. So, okay, maybe sometimes I hang on to those head-to-head trends too much. But again, I know Robert knows Ramon's specialty is college basketball totals. So let me just go with the side here, and I'll try to iron it out a little bit. I know that I always like to rattle off the trends for the over-unders, but a lot of times I'm just crunching numbers with my ratings, and that's how we determine play on the total. So sometimes I got some talking points. I guess the show would be shorter if I didn't have so many useless talking points. All right. See if I can get this basketball game going on the old monitor here. All right, next up, we got a few more games here. We got good ones here. Minnesota and Wisconsin. Joe, you still here? Maybe Joe can get us some. This is a Peacock game here, of course, in the Big Ten with Wisconsin coming in here with 4 straight wins here right now coming into this one. For Whiskey, they've got wins here of late over Rutgers. They got the money against Iowa. They got the money. It's been some good times here of late for Wisconsin. For Minnesota, they're off a couple of losses here, but they did get the money last time out against Ohio State in that 89-88 loss. They were getting 5 points in that one, but Minnesota's the worst spread team in the country, pretty much. I don't know if they're at the top, but they are just 2-11-2 against the spread so far. The widely reported steam came in on Minnesota. That's not going to stop the Sharps here from getting involved in this one. The Sharps took the steam here. Still, the line has been moved up. So much for that. The line is 14 and 140, 142, 141 and a half or so. It feels like right now the steam also came in on the over in this game, but this series history is an under for sure. 12 straight games between these two teams have been under this number right here of 142. Now, we know we're seeing, I say it every time, right, a completely different Wisconsin philosophy here, it feels like right now. But they have gone under some of these big numbers of late. The Rutgers game was 138, and it was a 157 total. And they played an under against Detroit. Went to 129, but they're going to be able to stuff Detroit there a little bit. But man, it does seem like we're seeing more overs here right now with the Wisconsin Badgers. So I'm going to end up on the over here in this one with Minnesota and Wisconsin. If Joe were here, maybe he is in the chat, maybe he left us. So all right. Yeah, me too, Robert. You got to put everything into context, and that's what I try to do. I try to encompass, I know Robert now, I'll bore him with it, but for anybody, I try to encompass all the things that I look at within the handicap. I can't talk as fast as my brain probably races, but all right, Robert's on Minnesota. It's just me and Bobby Mack here. Play. Next up, we've got just a couple more here, and the show will be over. But let's keep it on the Peacock Big Ten doubleheader here with UCLA and Maryland. We already talked about this one. Actually, this one's on Fox tonight. Is this one on Big Fox tonight, Friday night? Both teams have lost a couple in a row. We heard the Mick Cronin press conference basically calling out his team. He said they were he said no fault of theirs really, but it's just the nature of today's athletes. He feels like he goes in to practice every day. Cronin does, with energy, enthusiasm. You know how coaches are, right? They're not like you and me. You coaches are crazy. You go in there and, hey, you're motivators. That's what your job is to do. It's you to motivate the players, but he feels like they don't come in with the same energy and desire that he is showing, and basically called them out for that. Now, master like Cronin, it does feel like that should motivate UCLA here. But again, these Pac-12 teams, it just feels like they continue to struggle in this new conference, whether it's football or basketball, right? UCLA just got whipped by Michigan. They got beat by Nebraska on the road. It's just a 2-point dog, yet UCLA was one of the teams who beat Gonzaga this year. They lost that game to North Carolina as well. So now UCLA is 3-1 against the spread as an underdog this season. That probably is one of the things that kind of stands out for me in this one. But Maryland is 9-1 straight up at home. 11-2 straight up as a favorite. Can Cronin motivate these guys into hanging in here today against Maryland? Maybe we'll go to the chat, see if you think that's part of the story. I'm trying to sell that as part of the storyline, and to me, it is probably the most important factor right now for UCLA. I mean, they got called out pretty good. Now, Maryland, you look at their score lines here a little bit in this total 139. Now, UCLA does try to knock you around, get a little bit grunty defensively, but Maryland here, these scores, man, you look at some of these, 161 in that game against Oregon, 144 in that game against Washington. Those were the two Pac-12 teams, and they're coming off those. And yeah, this total is going to be lower because you're playing UCLA, but Maryland scored more. Maryland games have been more than 139 points for 12 straight games. So, no, they did play Eastern Shore in there, I know, and they played St. Francis, scored 111 against them, but the Syracuse game was 147 when they beat up on the Qs 87-60, and Maryland's 9-6 to the over this season. But again, it is UCLA 5-10 to the under this season, and mention that 3-1 record as an underdog. They're 1-3 to the under in those games. So let's see what you have here. I'm going to mention one steam play. You can type in your plays here, but we do have one steam move coming in here right now with Mercyhurst and St. Francis. Steam to the under. It was 137, probably 136 it feels like here right now with Mercyhurst and St. Francis. All right, give me your play here in this one. UCLA and Maryland in a good game here. And here is Robert on Maryland. And Jermaine says, last 2 days, you said you're getting steamed over, and it's usually an under, and it went over. Right, Jermaine? So you're trying to look, I know we're sometimes it's going one way, sometimes it's going the other. The steam came in on the under in this game as well. And right now, the line is 137, and this thing opened like 141. So maybe we're on to something there, Jermaine, right? Let me move it down here even more to 137 in this one. And I'm going to go ahead and take Maryland here. I have worries about all these teams right now taking on these, conference games here right now in this newfangled Big Ten. Maryland, they're haven't been around for too many years in the Big Ten, but maybe they're a little more established. Maybe they resemble a Big Ten team by now. So I'll take Maryland to beat UCLA here. Just have concerns. It is 4.5 pretty much for the most part everywhere now. So, okay, one more and we're done. I think you guys are kind of done. It's just me and Bobby Mack making some picks here. Still got 75 of you here watching, so thank you, everybody, for joining me here this morning. Make sure you join Mikey Monday tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Look at this line here on the future board. I just see right now, look, we talked about it was 9 for Ohio State. It's 10 now. You could find books to bet on these future matchups in the national championship game, but again, that 9 has turned into 10 for Ohio State there. Wow. Okay, Central Michigan taking on Toledo. We did just talk about it. The show's actually over, right? I gave out the under as my play here, but just to tell you right now, we are seeing other movement on this game. It's actually, I went under. The total's moving up here right now. It got steamed to the under, and I agreed with that, right? But probably a head fake, it looks like, because right now I'm showing this total up to 153 and a half here right now with Central Michigan and Toledo. So, hey, good for me. Here, I'll get a little value. I've already given out the under. So the show is over here right now, and I'm going under in this game. Again, just to wrap it up here, I think a little bit with the some of the numbers here. I don't think these two teams are totally going under here right now, although Central Michigan does have some pretty stout numbers long term in this role, going under here in some of these MAC games. Let me see if I have it here right now for Central Michigan. On the road against conference opponents here, they often go under in these games, especially at this number of 152. They have a history last year also going under, and right now Central Michigan struggling big time. They're on a losing streak at this point. They have gone under in 3 of their last 4 games coming into this one. So I ended up on the under here in this matchup. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under, including 5 of the last 6 games when playing here in Toledo. So last meeting here was almost a year to the day, and it was 65-62. Central Michigan won at home as a 7.5 point dog. They only met once last season. These two teams met last 2 years ago here at Toledo, and they went for 143 in that one in a Toledo blowout. So Toledo, like I said, Toledo's also won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. And Central Michigan, like I said, they are struggling here a little bit right now. Toledo off of a win over Eastern, 90-87, but they did not cover there as a 9.5-point favorite. They did cover against Western Michigan on the road, 76-70. So that's going to be it for the previews here on the morning steam. Hope we got to all the games you were interested in here. And let's get ready to do the drawing. I'll do the commercial, and then we'll get out of here right now. So thank you for joining me here, everybody. And we made a decent time here. All right, let me get it rolling here right now. Olmu has some comments here real quick. Joe says, I missed the Wisconsin game. What happened? Joe, I gave out the over in your honor, sir. We're going over with Minnesota and Wisconsin tonight. We know Wisconsin's turned it up here a little bit of late. All right, Robert Dixon in the chat, part of our team of Roberts, and he went with Toledo in that one. Thank you, Robert. Jermaine says, yeah, Central Michigan, they're an under team right now. C. James, hello. The show's over. He's ready to go. The show's over. Jake, nice to see you as well. Thank you, everybody, for a great time here today. I've enjoyed it. And let me pump up myself here a little bit. I want to encourage everyone to join me over at winnable.com. Like I said, hey, if you get today's package here, I will throw in tomorrow because I don't know if I'm going to have. I might have one of my smallest cards here, even for a abbreviated card. Probably going to be pretty light here, actually. So if you get the package today, I will throw in tomorrow. So if you do that, again, like I said, anybody who subscribes might notice there that I do throw in extra. If I see someone come in with a month package, I just throw on an extra 5 days or so. I just click it until I feel like, hey, I like this guy. He comes in the chat, or I've seen him before. So thanks for being part of the family here on the Sports Money Network. You can get my plays over at winnable.com/Ramon. My best plays every day over at Winnable, including my college football play. Yes, we were on last night, the winning side with Notre Dame. So, look, you might have a play already. I mean, the big game we all do. But, hey, if you want college basketball plays, I'm pretty good run here right now. So, hey, you can count on me. One thing I noticed, right, college basketball has the most plays, right, the most games of any sport. But yet picks from handicappers, like if you look at the I came from one of those sites where you charge $25, $35, $45 for my plays. I looked at their on those sites today, and there's hardly a play in college basketball. It's hard. College basketball is hard for average handicappers, but I'm your man. Come on. This is my specialty, especially totals. So pick up my package here. You get a ton of plays from me in college basketball because I think that's how you're supposed to play it. How could you? Now, a lot of people just like to handicap one game so they can be sure, but I handicap the landscape. I'm not good enough to pick 3 games a day. If I was, maybe I wouldn't be here. But I really appreciate all you guys watching me, and makes me feel pretty good here in this newfangled age of capping. I've been doing this a long time. It's not something new. I had 900 numbers back in the day, if you know what that is. I've been selling picks a long time. So these trolls don't bother me any. Hey, all right, folks, that's it. Don't forget, want to do this too. You can check out my show, VB MMA Picks, with my handicapper, VB. We've got the action here for UFC from Vegas tomorrow, and also check out First Strike with our previews. You got basically 7 fights previewed here on the Sports Money Network, and as Mikey said, probably a dozen different ways you can start playing the card. And don't forget, as I said, if you get today's card, I'll throw in tomorrow, I'll have a UFC card. Hey, I've got some pretty good handicappers, don't I? Between VB, between Jeff M, between Sub, Fanatical Jim, Mikey Money. I got a handle on this. I know how to look forward to a UFC card. So please check me out over at winnable.com, and then also watch our programming here a little bit with our previews for the UFC card on Saturday. We'll have companion coverage tomorrow here on the network. So please get ready and check that out. Okay, let's do the drawing. Don't forget, check out Mikey Money today, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Here we go. Or I'm sorry, 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. Here we go. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'll just do it. Actually, we only have one consensus play here today. So whoever wins is going to win about $2.70. You can laugh, but it's on you guys. Not on you guys. We just didn't have any consensus. Okay, here we go. I'll just do the drawing just for some fun here. Cliff, Nate, Nasty Nate, Cash King, Sharon, Flanae, Thomas, AOD, Stop Geo, Elliott, and of course, it's Thomas Lewis. If Thomas wins, I'm going to times the winnings by 10. Thomas, if they win, we'll do like $20 or $30 for Thomas today if the Oklahoma City Thunder cover the spread. Thomas, you win. All right. Thomas, you are my winner, my man. And I can't wait to be with you one day. So, all right. How appropriate is that on today's show? Thank you very much. Hey, did our basketball game start? Give me something to do here today. Appreciate everybody joining me. That's it. You can leave now if you want, but join me tomorrow here at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific for more Morning Steam. Be previewing the weekend action here. I don't know what's going on with ESPN. Am I having a problem here, you guys, or what's going on? I'm not getting the game just yet, but it is 13-7. Merrimack is out in front here early. That one's going over for sure right now, but Merrimack's practically double them up here so far at this point. All right, check me out over at winnable.com. That's going to do it here for the show. I'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long. Thank you.
Steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
I know you guys can still hear me out there. If you're still hanging out in the lobby, I'm looking at social media and everyone's complaining about no Merrimack stream on ESPN. See you guys tomorrow.